Welcome back, Trash Pack. Today we're going to be playing a game called The Test, and I have two reasons I'm wanting to play this game. The first one is I watched Markiplier play through this, and I'm kind of curious to see if the game actually does give different results at the end, or if no matter what you choose, you're going to get the same result. I'm kind of curious to see what the case ends up being with that. And the second reason is that I'm a relatively new channel, and so people don't really know a lot about me. Not that anyone's like super interested anyways, but I figure with a game like this where you're getting asked a bunch of like personal questions sort of deal, it might be an interesting way to let you know more about me. Anyways, let's jump into this. This Robotnik looking ass guy with that stash. Now, in order to begin, this is the most important part of this entire experience. You will be asked a series of questions, and you must answer them honestly. Now, when I say answer them honestly, I don't mean answer them how you'd like to answer them. Answer them with truth, even if that's hard to face. We all want to be good people. We rarely want to admit our faults, grievances, or mistakes. But you must decide what you truly want. Do you want this to work properly? Do you want the truth about yourself, your destiny in this world? Or would you rather live a lie just to hide from yourself? That is a very good question, my dude, and we're gonna find out. The process is very simple in theory. Just answer a long series of questions. What's difficult is self-analyzing your own psyche to evaluate the truths in your own mind and life so that you can predict your future. You see, as long as you're honest with these questions and answers, you'll be able to see your own future here. This will tell you things you already know, but don't necessarily know that you know. As long as the answers you provide to the questions are 100% honest and true, this process will simply unlock a part of your mind that you do not have natural access to. This isn't psychic. This isn't a personality test. This is simply nature. I mean, it kind of is a personality test, but this is you. This is your own mind. This is simply nature taking its course. This is the human brain at work, unlocking hidden truths within itself. While attempting to answer many of these questions, you'll often wonder things like, well, this answer depends on the circumstances. Create your own circumstances in your mind and answer the questions with a simple yes or no, as you see fit. You may not understand nor realize it, but your mind will develop the situation required to answer your question the way it needs to be answered. I invite you to grab a drink of water, sit back, relax, and enjoy the experience. We are about to begin with a series of questions, and provided that you're a willing participant, we will be unlocking some substantial information today. Here we go. Would you be alright with living alone forever? Not really. Like, I'm not a huge people person. I don't like being constantly surrounded by people, but the idea of being literally alone? No bueno. Do you like the color blue more than the color black? This is actually kind of tough because I like both of these colors for different reasons. I would say I probably prefer blue more because black's more of like an accent color to me. Maybe that's not the right word, but black's one of those colors that you want it to be paired with something else. Like, you know, you do like the black and blue or the black and red, get your Shadow the Hedgehog look going, and I feel like blue's more of a stand on its own color. It doesn't necessarily need to be paired with anything else. So I'm gonna say blue. If you found money on the street and knew who it belonged to, would you give it back to them? Yeah. Are you sure you want the answers you seek? What answers am I seeking, though? I mean, if it's supposed to be some kind of deep, like, uncomfortable personal truth about myself, not really. just because that doesn't sound very fun. So I would say no. Yeah, I guess that's fair. But then again, I'm supposed to answer this as honestly as possible, and I mean, clearly I'm taking this test. So I guess actually yes. I'm I think yes would be correct. Well, I guess there's not really a right or wrong, but most truthfully, I think I can handle whatever this game is going to offer me. So I'm not like particularly afraid of whatever truth this game has for me. Are you afraid of spiders? Yeah, actually. I don't know if afraid is necessarily the correct term, but I'm not a spider expert. The majority of spiders aren't really poisonous, as far as I know. But the fact that I don't know which ones are and aren't makes me kind of err on the side of caution, and then I'm just like, you know what, fuck all the spiders. If you knew you would emerge unscathed, would you jump into molten lava? Dude, fuck yeah, that'd be fun as fuck. I'd be like, dude, check this out, bruh. Would you consider yourself to be fat? Oh, that's an interesting question. I would say I do. I'm not like crazy large, but I definitely got a little bit of the gut thing going, and it definitely causes me a lot of I would say confidence issues. There's a lot of things that I would like to experiment with wearing that I won't because I feel like I am fat. So I guess the correct answer there would be yes. Would you say that you have lots of charisma? Uh, uh, no. Have you ever wished you could be temporarily frozen? It's never crossed my mind. This is all very interesting. Did you realize that the last letter of the previous 5 questions, when put together, spell the name Satan? You know, I watched Markiplier's video on this, so I did actually know that, but I totally also forgot that that was a thing until just now. But I was aware of it. So yes. Does that make you uncomfortable? No, that's just like a cheeky little thing you did in the game. It's not really scary. Are you good at finding hidden puzzles or clues? I would say not so much. Like, I'm not bad at finding hidden puzzles or clues, but I'm also not the kind of person who can pick apart like every little pixel of a game to find every little hidden like object. But I can like handle puzzles decently well, and I usually find at least a couple things. But I guess you would define being good as being like one of the like deep lore hunters or whatever that find all the shit, and I am definitely not one of those. Are you now wondering what other hidden messages are placed within these questions? Not particularly. Have you been entirely honest with your answers thus far? To the best of my ability. Are you afraid of the consequences for answering questions dishonestly? What are you gonna do with your video game? Were you aware that there could be potential consequences for answering dishonestly? No, I wasn't, because there aren't any. Are you wondering how these questions began to take a strange turn? No, not particularly. Would you consider yourself captivated? I'm kind of curious. I'll say yes. Very interesting. Would you consider yourself to be brave? If anyone's ever seen me when a bee shows up, they'll know I'm not brave, like, at all. I will run like coward. You view yourself as someone with above average intelligence? I am. Wasted potential, baby. Have you been looking for hidden messages? Nope. Are you wondering which hidden messages you may have missed? No, not really. I didn't do this playthrough to be like lore hunting. I did this playthrough as a way to let my audience online get to know me slightly better. For those who are interested enough to care about that anyways. So I wasn't really like too focused on lore hunting. If there is any lore to this, I'm sure after Markiplier played it, MadPat will be all over it, but until then, I'm just not particularly worried about the lore. Have you begun to wonder how long this test will take or how many questions exist in this session? No. It'll run about a decent length for a Let's Play, I think, and that's perfect. Would you consider yourself to be a patient person? Am I patient? No. I've definitely fucked myself in a lot of video games because I just do not have the patience to wait. Do most humans annoy you? No, not really. Intimidate would be a much better and more correct way of thinking about it because people don't really necessarily annoy me except for like, crazy people and like MAGA people and shit, but people for the most part, it's more like just a constant internal fear of like, oh no, I'm gonna say something dumb and everyone's gonna think I'm stupid, that sort of thing, which is different than being annoyed. Anyways, do I prefer animals to people? Well, animals are adorable, and also I'm a furry, so I feel like the correct and obligatory answer is yes. If there were animal people, that would be just amazing. There needs to be animal people. Petition God to make animal people, please. Do you believe in magic? No, magic is stupid. Do you believe in believe in God or the existence of some form of higher power? No, not really. Sometimes I wish I did, just because it would be easier if there was some kind of afterlife, but so far as I know, there's not. There's been no evidence to suggest that there is, so. Do you fear death? Yes, I do. Very, 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 very terrified of it. One of those things that keeps me up at night just is, are you attracted to someone whom you're not currently in a no, not really? Did you? Yes. Are you alone? No. If I told you with some certainty that there's someone watching you, would you believe me? So, there's not currently someone watching me, but there will be somebody watching me in the future when I upload this, so yeah. Have you wondered who I am? No, you're very clearly Robotnik. Have you had shivers at any point during this session? Nope. Do you feel like you're being watched? Not currently, but in the future I will be. Have you considered quitting this session early? No, because that would ruin my video. Do you drink water every day? No, I don't. I drink lots of soda and monster cans because I do not live a healthy life. I am a raccoon because I eat garbage. Do you eat at least once per day every day? Yes. Do you realize that you've missed 7 hidden messages thus far? No, I didn't, actually. Thank you for... Well, if I did, I didn't notice, so... No, not really. Would it bother you to never know without finding them yourself? No. I'll let MatPat find them, I don't give a fuck. Is your favorite number 7? I've never understood favorite numbers. I don't understand, like, superstitious numbers or favorite numbers. I guess if I had to pick a favorite number, it would probably be either 0 or 5. And it's not for any particular reason, it's just whenever I do anything, I like whenever things have, like, clean endings. And 0 is, obviously 0, so it's, like, empty. And then 5 is, like, the midpoint between, 0 and 10. So I like intervals of 5 and then zeros. So I would either be 0 or 5 if I had a favorite number, but I don't really, so no, not 7. Life is short, but it's the longest thing we'll ever do. I mean, yeah, there's no afterlife as far as I know, so your life is literally the entire length of your existence. So being alive will in fact be the longest thing you do. Oranges cannot be compared to apples. Do you agree? Well, I mean, they're both food, so you can compare them through taste. They're also objects that can be thrown at people's faces. You can always compare their throwability. I'm kidding, of course, but no, I think you can absolutely compare apples and oranges. It's just very situational. I think the phrase compare apples to oranges doesn't actually make sense, you know? Venus is sometimes referred to as the morning star. Did you know that? You know what? I watched Markiplier play this before I played this. So actually, I did in fact know that. Everyone deserves a second chance. Do you agree? Everyone means literally everyone. And I don't actually agree with that sentiment. Because, yes, the vast majority of people do, because most people mean well and are misguided when they do something messed up. But then there's like lots of people who are literally just fucking awful people. If somebody like kills somebody or like somebody like violently rapes somebody or something, you know, just to give extreme examples, you know, maybe you guys don't necessarily deserve second chances, you know? Because what you did is kind of past the line, you've gone too far, sort of deal. But again, I want to reiterate that for the vast majority of people on the planet, it's mostly like misguided people who just made mistakes or had misguided views about something. And for people like that, I do think they deserve a second chance. But since he said everyone, I have to say no, because not everyone does. You can do anything you put your mind to. Do you agree? No, I actually hate this mentality because there's a lot of people who just literally can't do certain things. Like saying you can do anything you put your mind to, right? And it's like, okay, well, if somebody in a wheelchair thinks really hard and believes themselves hard enough, they're still not going to get up and walk. They just aren't. And I think putting yourself in that mentality of like, you can do literally anything if you just put your mind to it has a reverse kind of flip side where then you're getting mad at people for not being able to do things because like, oh, they just didn't try hard enough. And it's like, no, there are some things you just cannot do. And I don't know why we always pretend like, oh, you can do literally. No, you cannot. There are certain limitations. No matter how focused you are, there are certain things that you just won't be able to do ever. And there's nothing wrong with that. I should clarify there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you know, everybody has their strengths and weaknesses and stuff. Obedience is more important than freedom. Do you agree? No. Underwater adventures sound like a fun time. Do you agree? Yes. Do you realize that the first letter of the previous 8 questions spelled the phrase I love you? See, I'm just now remembering this because I watched Markiplier's playthrough, but I didn't realize it and then I forgot completely about it. So I think, honestly, I have to say no because I did forget about it and he's just now reminding me. Do you wish to be loved? Everyone does. Do you have any addictions? Yes, I do. Do you dislike the color pink? No. In fact, while purple is my favorite color of all time, I actually also really fucking like magenta, which is kind of like a pink color. Or I think it's a color that would be classified as pink if you were to put, you know, each of the colors into like a simple red, blue, green, sort of like basic category and then subcategorize them. I feel like magenta probably falls into pink. And that's like also one of my top favorite colors. So yeah, I definitely like pink. Does the color gray seem depressing? Sometimes. It really depends, because I feel like gray is more of a background kind of color. Like, it's not very common you see gray at the forefront of colors, because gray is more of like an accent color. It usually is there to complement another color, or it's there to be something that can be easily tuned out as part of the background. Like if you were painting, I don't know, like a workstation or something, and you didn't want to just have it be like generically white, but you also didn't want it to be distracting because, you know, you're in there to do some kind of work. I could see somebody like choosing gray as a color because it's not completely just nothing like a generic white, but it's also not like in your face at all. So you can easily kind of tune it out. But it's not really depressing. I mean, I guess it can be, but no, I just kind of consider it like a background noise sort of color. It's just kind of there. Do you enjoy loud music? No, I don't like loud anything. I'm always paranoid that every video I make is like too loud all the time. And the honest truth is they're probably all too quiet. I wouldn't even be shocked. I've never liked things being super, super, super loud. I prefer a nice, like, reasonable volume. Do you like to dance? I mean, I'm absolute shite at it, but yeah. Would you consider yourself normal? I am a trans girl trash panda on YouTube with a fursona. So yeah, I'm totally normal. Do you love your parents? Ooh. Ooh. Ouch. Oh. Tough question. Really going for a good one here. Gotta face the uncomfortable truths, I guess. I would say when it comes to my mom, there's no question in the world about that. I love her to death. And then on the other hand, not so much. Question mark? Maybe? No. Yeah, no. Have you ever been lied to? Everyone's been lied to. Everyone's lied and everyone's lied to somebody. No. I get angry sometimes at like really difficult sections in video games or just when I'm being dumb in a video game and I make a section more difficult than it needs to be. Subway midnight. What? Did somebody say something? The idea that I get angry often, no, I'm like actually very calm person. Uh, the one benefit to not reacting strongly emotional to like pretty much anything ever for any reason is that also I don't typically get like super angry. It takes a lot to get me like very, 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 very angry. It has happened on a few occasions, but I feel like me getting like super angry is a thing that happens like, once every like 4 months or something. It is not a thing that's happening like every other day or even like once a week. So I don't think I would qualify as getting angry often. Do you hold grudges? No, not really. Have you ever forgiven someone? Yeah, actually. Have you ever lied? Everyone's lied and everyone's been lied to. Do you think flowers are more beautiful than trees? Bruh, have you ever seen those fucking, like, sakura trees or whatever they're called in the animes? The big trees with the pink flowers? These things are fucking gorgeous. No fucking way. Like, some trees are fucking beautiful, dude. Have you ever wanted to... Have you ever wanted to be an animal instead of a person? Hmm. Hmm. Gee Willikers, I don't know. Yes. Do you believe you have psychic power? No, that's fucking stupid. Have you ever seen a ghost? Ghosts don't exist. Do you dream often? No, not really. Well, I mean, technically everybody dreams all the time even if they don't remember their dreams, but the question here is very clearly, at least to me, talking about the dreams that you remember having. And like every once in a while I'll remember a dream and they're usually like pretty weird and crazy. But for the most part, I don't actually remember my dreams. I like forget them all. My brain has no space for that shit. Do you have nightmares often? Well, I don't really remember my dreams. I don't typically wake up like in a cold sweat, so I'm guessing no. You suffer from anxiety attacks. Maybe? I don't really know what an anxiety attack necessarily is. I just get like locked up sometimes and I get stressed out sometimes, which I think are anxiety attack things. I don't know. I'm gonna say yes, but I'm gonna add the qualifier in my mind of uncertain because I don't necessarily know what actually counts. Do you suffer from depression? Oh, absolutely. Do you exercise often instead? Nope. I am lazy. Do you consider yourself emotionally wounded? Yes. Have you ever felt betrayed? Yes. Do you ever feel lost in life? Every day, all the time. I'm fucking 30 and my life has no clear forward projection. I'm just kind of meandering through it, so yeah. Would you consider yourself a natural leader? No. If you could push a button and destroy the world, would you? No. Why? Why the fuck would I do that? That's weird and stupid. Do you sometimes dream of being a hero? Not that I remember. Have you ever been bullied? Yeah. Have you ever bullied somebody else? I'm gonna say yes, because I do remember in, I wanna say junior high, we used to roast this one kid a lot at our lunch table. And I don't remember why nobody liked him. It was probably something stupid and petty because it was junior high. But I do remember making fun of that kid a lot. And looking back on it, I think it definitely meets the qualifications of bullying. So, like, yeah, I've probably bullied people before. Not like with any ill will or ill intent, but just, being young kids who don't know better, I guess. Yeah, I would say yes. Would you consider yourself to be a dreamer? No, not really. Dreams are dead. Reality is actually pretty fucking bleak, so no, not really. Do you sometimes hurt people's feelings unintentionally? I think everyone does to some extent, even if they don't mean to. Do you find space fascinating? Yeah, space is cool. What's not to love about space? Space is like this infinite forum for possibility. But then if you think about space in the realm of fiction, it's like an infinite space for storytelling. There's not the limitations of having Earth as a setting. If you set things in space, you can have any number of conflicts, any number of like species, any number of like technologies. You can even have space magic like the Force. Yeah, so from a fiction standpoint, space is like just limitless in possibilities of what you could do with it. Would you consider yourself to be an artist? No. If anyone's ever seen any of the art I've made, it is fucking terrible. Would you consider yourself to be a good friend? I hope so. Like, I think I'm a good friend. I don't think I'm the best friend ever, like, but I go out of my way for people, and I'm usually, like, super nice and stuff. I feel like I'd make a good friend. Would you consider yourself to be flawed? Everybody is. Do you believe in perfection? No, it doesn't exist. Even if something were to somehow be perfect, it would still be imperfect because being perfect would mean that there was no more room for growth and it would ultimately become boring, which would be a flaw. So even something that did manage to be perfect would ultimately become imperfect anyways. Have you ever stolen from someone? Have I ever stolen? Yes. Would you ever kill someone under any circumstance? Yeah. Self-defense, obviously. If you had one day to live, would you tell anyone? Oh, that's a tough one. That is actually kind of a difficult question to answer. I would say... I would say probably not. Like, it would be fun to do, like... Well, not fun. Fun is not the word. it would be nice to do like all the proper goodbyes and clear up grievances and stuff, but I'd much rather not say anything to anyone and just like call up all my friends that I could get, together in one day and just be like, yo, man, let's all go to this place and go do something super fun or whatever, and then we just have the last day be like a super fun, awesome, kick ass time. And then, the next day I would be dead and stuff. So they'd figure it out then. And they would have that like one final memory of like, wow, the day before he died, we had like the most fun we've ever had or whatever. So like it would suck initially, but then, when they're looking back on it like 10, 20 years later or something, it would be like probably one of their coolest memories or whatever, just because of like how kick-ass the time would be. That would be my goal anyways. So I don't think I would tell anyone. Have you ever told your darkest secrets to someone? No. Do you trust me even though you know nothing about me? You're a video game character, so I don't know actually. Because you're a video game character, so you're obviously just going to do whatever your programs do, and I assume that's spit out my results at the end of the quiz, and I trust you to do that. But at the same time, you're also a non-fictional non-entity, so I don't really trust you to do anything because you don't exist. I'm gonna say yes, I'm gonna say yes, going on the train of thought that he is a video game character designed to do his purpose, and I assume he's going to do that. I have no reason to think that he's not, so sure. Do you know who I am? No. You're Robotnik. Damn it, I should have said yes and then made the Robotnik joke. Well, they did tell me to answer honestly, so I guess that's fine. If I appeared behind you right now, would you scream? Yeah, actually, if you did, because that would be actually pretty terrifying, because it means a fictional entity manifested itself in reality, and that's a pretty terrifying concept. If I told you that I've been behind you this entire time, would that scare you? No, because you haven't been. You'd just be lying. Yes. No, I am garbage at romance. Have you ever been in a physical fight? Have I? Yes, I have. I feel like I have. Yes. Do you look at the ground when you walk? Yes, I do that a lot, actually. Um... Yeah. No, God, no. Yeah, sure. Do you ever dance when... Yeah, all the time. Uh... Yeah. I don't know who actually qualifies as my best friend, but every friend I have, I, like, trust pretty fully. No, my childhood is literally a giant hole, and people have to, like, tell me specific things to trigger any memories from that space. Because, like, the whole thing is just, like, gone. I may as well have never been a child because that whole section is just empty void. Would you rob a bank if you could get away with it? No. Do you dream about running from a killer? I think I've had a dream like that before. Yeah, I feel like I've had a dream similar to that before. Do you ever dream about falling off a cliff? I don't have any memories of dreaming about falling off cliffs. Have I? I don't remember, so I'm gonna say no. Do you ever dream about being naked in public? I feel like I've had this dream at least once. Do you enjoy scary movies or books? I'm gonna say yes, with the qualifier that it's not scary movies so much as it is like horror short films and horror unfiction stories online. I really like a lot of stuff that you can find through channels like Nightmind. I love that kind of shit, so yeah. Do you enjoy comedic television shows or movies? Yes, I fucking love shit like Futurama and Scrubs, and I used to like the Scary Movies franchise, you know, so I enjoy my comedies. Do you like being the center of attention? I actually kind of hate it. Like, on YouTube, I have that degree of separation, you know, with the screen. But if I were like ever like out somewhere and like all of a sudden a spotlight was on me and there was just people everywhere just like paying all the attention to me, that would be a nightmare. Oh my god, that'd be a nightmare. You feel like someone is always watching you now. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to go to space? Yeah, dude, that'd be awesome. I'd love to go to space. I would love to like live in like a future where we had space technology and stuff and you could travel between planets and we had like, you know, the hologram tech and all that stuff. I would still probably mostly exist in whatever the future's version of the online space is, but I would definitely like enjoy the heck out of that more than now. Yeah. Have you ever had an out of body? No. Have you ever punched a nun? Have I punched a nun? Punched a nun. Punched a nun. No, I don't think I've ever played any video games that let you punch a nun, now that I'm thinking about it. Which is surprising, because you'd think that would be a thing that would have happened in a video game by now. I was gonna say Nun Massacre, but I don't think you can actually fight the nun in that game. But then also, you don't punch in those games. Oh, you know, in Christmas Massacre, you kill a nun. But I guess you stab her, you don't punch her, so no. Do you like dogs better than cats? I do, but I don't hate cats. Do you prefer to read more than you prefer to watch movies? No. Reading requires way too much effort on my part, and watching a movie is easy. Plus, some movies are just really fucking good, dude. Are you still wondering why I asked you if you ever punched a nun? No, not really. You just asked it to be kind of a goofy question. Do I get starstruck easily? No. Do you hate going to big parties and social gatherings? Yes, I do actually. Is your favorite part about birthdays receiving presents? No. Seriously though, no. Yeah, see, that's just supposed to be a joke question. No, I did not laugh. Did you say what the fuck in your head or even aloud? No. It was clearly just meant to be kind of like a goofy question. Um, I'll say yes, but add in again the qualifier of in video game. There's got to be a video game somewhere that you can punch a nun in it. Like, I feel like that's got to be a thing in like a GTA style game or something, or maybe even GTA itself. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a nun walking down a street or something in GTA that you can punch. If there's a hell, do you think you're going to it? Yeah, probably. Do you enjoy fantasy fiction games? Yeah, I do. Yes. Are you? No. You said that we have to make the scenarios in our own head, so whatever constitutes frequently constitutes frequently. No, I'm not very uncomfortable. Is your mouth dry? Actually, it is. Probably because I don't ever drink water and I drink like Monster cans and soda all the time. Does profanity make you unfucking comfortable? No. No. I believe that the Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot are basically the result of confirmation bias. At some point, these myths became myths, and then because they became myths, people went out looking for, you know, the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot or whatever, and so they see, you know, a vague something run by in the woods, and they take a picture of it, and they're like, "Oh, it's got to be Bigfoot," but it's not Bigfoot. It's just, you know, maybe it's like a bear, maybe it's a guy in a costume, maybe it was something else, but because they have that idea in their mind of like, oh, I'm looking for Bigfoot, they just default put Bigfoot in a place where a question mark should be because they don't actually know what's in their grainy, shitty photo, you know? Anyways, I rambled too long again. Are you poor with money management? I'm gonna say no, just because Whenever I'm in a comfortable position and I don't have a lot to be worried about, I can get pretty frivolous and spendy with money. But if I have a specific goal in mind, um, or I'm like in a position where I have to be like really tight with money, I can immediately flip that switch and just save money. So yeah, I'm gonna say I am decent with money management. Do you enjoy solving mathematical puzzles? As long as they're not crazy hard. Do you speak? No. I can only speak one language, and it's dumbass. Have you ever visited a country other than your own? No, I wish. I would love to like go to the UK or something. I think that'd be fun. If I could learn another language, I would visit, some more culturally diverse countries too. But I feel like I'm just like too dumb. It's too complicated, too much work. Do you enjoy coffee? No, I hate coffee. Coffee smells good, but it tastes like garbage. Do you believe in demons? No. Well, I mean, if I don't believe in demons, why would I believe in angels? Aren't they kind of the same thing? Like, demons are just evil angels, and angels are just good demons. Are you afraid of sharks? No. Everyone gives sharks a bad rap, but sharks are, like, actually not that threatening. Like, obviously, a shark can fuck you up, but the likelihood that a shark is going to attack you is just basically non existent. It is incredibly rare that it happens. You prefer baths over showers? No. I like to turn on the shower, lay down like it's a bath, and then dissociate for like an hour. Thank you very much. Does the smell of perfume or cologne give you headaches? Sometimes, actually, yeah. Some people lay it on too thick. Plus, one time I was at work and a bottle of some kind of like citrus cologne like broke and got all over me. And oh my god, I thought I was gonna die because it was so constant and overwhelming, and it was just in my nose, and ugh, that actually sucked. It was like super sensory overload. Did you see the shadow move in your room a few moments ago? No, I didn't because the shadow. Well, technically, I've moved my arms around, and so if I cast any shadow, the shadow would have moved. But no, there were no shadow people moving around in my room. Do you ever hear your name being called, even when you don't know what's calling it? That has actually happened to me like a couple times in my life. That's happened like pretty decent amount of times. Usually like when I'm trying to go to sleep. So I assume it's like your brain's like switching into sleep mode. So it's probably like you're dreaming while you're still awake or something. I don't know the specific science of it, but I've definitely had it happen on multiple occasions. Most commonly when I'm just like laying down and trying to sleep. Things in your home often go missing and then reappear later. I mean, I am disorganized and scatterbrained. My stuff goes missing and comes back all the time. I'll lose a pair of scissors for like a week and then refind them later in a random spot. No, not really. Do you ever hear random knocking noise around you? Yeah, there's like, I don't know if it's our heat or what, but there's like definitely like something that at night sometimes will just randomly make these like knocking noises, and it's really annoying when you're trying to sleep. Often look at the same time on the clock every day. Yeah, I'm definitely one of those people who like looks at the clock and it'll always be like 4:21 or 9:11 or whatever. You know the ones that people always like catch the clock on. Although because I am furry trash, one of the ones I do see all the time is 6:21. I literally like all the time I'll look down at the clock and it'll be like 6:21, and I don't know if like my brain just has some kind of internal clock thing going and it's like, oh, it's 6:21, now it's time to check the clock. But yeah, that does happen a lot. Have you ever felt your feet being grabbed at night while sleeping? No. Do you have any pets? Not currently. In a month, that will half change. They still won't be my pets, but I'll be in a house with pets, so that kind of counts. But for the time of recording, no, I do not have any pets. Is your favorite color green? No, it is not. As I stated earlier, it is purple. Are you attracted to a family? No. No, I am not. That's pretty fucking gross. Gross! If you won the lottery, would you share the money with anyone? Yeah, I would share with a lot of people. If you could be the dictator of your own country, would you accept the role? No. Do you ever wonder what it's like to be in prison? No. It sounds awful. Do you like fishing? Not really. Do you like hunting? No, not really. Do you like camping? I would say I would be open to going on a camping trip, I think. Like, I would think I would be open-minded to that. You like guns? No, not really. No, not at the moment. Do you consider yourself to be king? Hell fucking yes. You have no idea. Eyes are the windows of the soul, do you agree? See, I know... So, like, the soul isn't, like, a real thing, but the soul, to me, kind of translates to essence of a person. Like, it's kind of what... It's all the stuff that makes you who you are, you know? Tics, behaviors, personality, past experiences, hopes, dreams, all that stuff kind of culminates together. And then, like, that kind of very core essence of who you are is kind of what I consider soul to be. I don't consider it to be, like, a physical ghostly presence that, like, floats out of your body or whatever when you die. And eyes are, like, the most expressive part of a person. So the phrase eyes are the windows of the soul to me always translated as people give away a lot about themselves through their eyes, you know, because of how expressive they can be. You can see like the sadness, you can see the hope, the joy, that sort of thing. So I would say, yeah, eyes are the window to the soul. Do you always keep your promises? No. Sometimes I literally just forget shit. Like, all the time I forget shit. I don't have the memory capacity sometimes. So I'll be like, yeah, I'll do this thing, and then I'll totally fucking forget. Would you ever completely trust somebody who's lied to you? Yeah. Are you an only child? No, I am not. Do you ever enjoy being drunk? Yeah, sometimes. Do you like tattoos? Yes, with qualifier on other people. Do you enjoy being high in any form? No, not really. Do you believe you have a soul? So, in this context, he's talking about spirit floating out of the body, and no, I don't. I think, um, that kind of soul just doesn't exist. Did you cry this week? No, I'm emotionally stunned. I am incapable of crying. It is actually a huge problem that I have no clue how to deal with, but you know what? Fuck it, whatever. Are you upset with someone right now? No, not really. Is there someone you're not being completely honest with daily? Yeah. Do you understand how this works yet? Yeah, I answer questions. If you answer the questions twice, your truth may change. It's not just about answering the questions, it's about the time you spend answering them. The combination you answer them in, it's about how many variables you never guess. Do you understand? Yeah, actually, I do kind of get that. Are you wondering if the end of the test is coming soon based on the no? If I were to tell you this entire process was planted here for you, specifically you, to learn something about yourself and anyone else that bothers you in this is just a byproduct of its intention, would you believe that? No. Are you afraid of being abandoned? Yes. Are you afraid of dying alone? Yes. Do you worry that one day you'll be unexpectedly murdered? Not really. Like, I feel like you have to be somebody to be, like, worried about that. Because, like, yeah, sure, anybody can, like, get mugged and die in a mugging, or have their home broken into and die, kind of like that. But to be unexpectedly murdered in this sense, I feel like you'd have to be noteworthy in some way to somebody, and I am not. Are you always on guard, waiting to fend off an attack? No. Do you feel like I know you yet? I mean, you've probably got what you need to answer my question, or to answer my survey, to feed me my results. Have you heard any strange noises while answering these questions? No. I think we have enough information about you. Whether you skipped questions, answered honestly or dishonorably, took loads of time to respond, or answered quickly without reading or understanding properly, I've been able to tell. Do you guys think that this game actually keeps track of how long it takes you to answer a question? Do you think there's like a timer that goes on between each question? It's like, well, this one he answered really fast, this one he answered really slowly. I'm curious if they put that much thought into this. And if so, I wonder what the math for this looks like. What's the result generating algorithm is? Let's find out. Well, let's not find out because that would require a shit ton of things. You know what? Strike lore theory. Let's all start a petition to get MatPat to break down the math and figure out how the algorithm for a game like this would work. Like, not specifically this game, but like, I want to see a game theory video where they just figure out the math for an algorithm for one of these like personality quiz type things. Like, how would you do it? What are the variables? What values would each thing be assigned? How would you determine an ultimate response? You know what I mean? That'd make for a really cool video. He used to do all kinds of like math-focused videos, and I feel like lately he just does lore stuff. I would love to see more math-focused like science videos. So this is my petition, MatPat, with my 5 views per video. I'm sure you're inevitably going to see this, and when you do a video breaking down the math of how one of these personality quizzes would work. Just because it'd be a fun math video. Do it. Alright. I'm calculating your results. I'm analyzing you very carefully. I'm judging you, dick. Based on what you told me, this is what I can conclude. Oh dear. You poor unfortunate soul. You've been hurt before, and it's clear that it's affected the way you look at certain situations in life, whether you realize it or not. So Mark also got this, so I wonder if this is just like scripted or if this will actually change depending on who you are. I'm here to tell you right now that it does not have to be that way. You're a lot stronger than you think. You're a lot stronger than you can even imagine. Everything you've been through in life, every way that others have treated you, all the things that have happened, they've all led you to this moment right here, right now. Even when it seems like things are falling apart, when things tend to go wrong instead of right, you still keep fighting. You're still here breathing, even despite the odds. You're not lucky, you're a survivor, and there's a very big difference. You need to fully understand just how incredibly rare that is in today's world and give yourself some much needed praise. One thing I can assure you of is that as long as you continue to fight, as long as you do not give up, even if things get worse, despite the odds, you can and you will overcome them. Alright, that's nice. They don't make people quite as strong as you often. You can survive, you can thrive, and you can inspire those who are struggling by showing them what happens when you refuse to give in, refuse to surrender, and refuse to settle. So far, this has all been like exactly the same as Markiplier's. So I'm wondering if there isn't actually different results. I'm so incredibly proud of you, and you should be even more proud of yourself. Your secret word is angel. Remember this word, this will come in. Yeah, this is literally the same. And I feel like I made some significantly different answer choices than Mark. We both answered honestly. Like, Mark answered to the best of his ability, and I answered to the best of mine. So I feel like this game just has one result at the end, and this has all been a giant, like, troll maybe? Or maybe this is leading into something else, because they do mention at the end here in a second that there's another game in the works. And this game is supposed to link into that one somehow. I don't know the specifics, but yeah, from what I've gathered, this is like roughly the same result that Mark got. It might even be word for word the same. So I'm kind of curious now. Somebody should go back through this game and just be an absolute dick and answer like the meanest ways possible. Just to see if this game gives out different results. Because right now it seems like it only gives out one result. But I also only have a test sample of 2 people. It could very well be possible that even though me and Mark answered differently, like our ultimate variables ended up being the same. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe he changed a value here and then I changed a value there, and so we ultimately ended up at the same place, even though our numbers kind of weren't matching up exactly. Okay. And then close it out. Take the secret word that was assigned to you at the intercession and leave it in a comment for us. We will be selecting some of you based on your answers to be included in a future project we're currently working on. Don't be afraid, this is an opportunity to be part of history. This is a chance for you to be a part of something greater. Be sure to note your secret word in your comments. If you do not wish to be a part of an upcoming project, simply leave your secret word out of your comments, and we will not select your name. We appreciate any all comments you leave, and we will read through them thoroughly. Thank you for taking time to answer these questions. I know they've been of some help to you, and if they aren't yet, it will all make sense very soon. Trust me on that. Credits: Crystal Cox, Jessica Reyes, and Joshua Benson. Horror music pack creator. Okay. So a short list of credits. I mean, it's a pretty simple game. It talks about leaving something in comments, so I wonder if that's like the community page on Steam is what they mean. I don't really know, because there's not a comment section in this game. If I had one thing I would tell to the creators of this game, you should add in a link at the end. Just a link that leads to whatever this comment section is that you're wanting people to put their comments in. Other than that, this has been the video. I hope this was informative. I hope you guys learned a little bit about me. I hope that this gave you some things to think about in terms of how these tests work and how valid and accurate they are. Also, I hope this inspires a few of you to, explore this game and see if you can't get it to give different results, or if it's just pre-scripted and it doesn't actually matter what you answer. I'm really curious about that sort of stuff. Anyways, I am currently at 95 subscribers, still trying to get to that 100, so leave a subscribe, click the like button, drop all those comments, tell me what you think, give me feedback, let me know. The more I know about what you guys think, the more I can do to improve my content moving forward. So just let me know everything that's on your mind, And I hope this video was great for you. Holy crap. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, so it's time to end this. Alright, bye!